Brothers and the occasional sister, we're about to go on the uphill run and we're 10k into this one this morning. It's my Sunday 10k, but I'm going to go a bit past it because I want to do a wee video. I want to tell you a story. I don't do races. I run because I enjoy it. And I have actually done one race, and I'll tell you about that. It's funny. There's a photo of it. It's actually the Kaiteriri. I think it was 12k or 10k. I can't remember. It was 10k. It was, I was 50. So it's 12 years ago. And there's a big group photo of everybody. And someone said to me, "You're the only guy smiling in the photo." Here I am running along with a big smile. And I said, yeah, it looks like I'm happy, but what you guys don't realise is that when I'm in pain I smile. Because in some weird little fucked up way, it gives me a buzz. So maybe I'm addicted to the endorphins, I don't know. Well, that's what I wanted to talk about. It was not that, but I thought I'd just bring that story to you. I got a better story. Well, the dogs are starting to feel it. Poor old Pacer's falling back. They are actually dogs. The first 5 or 6 k's they're ahead of me, and at the end they're struggling to keep up. But humans can outrun dogs, but that's not my story. This is my story. I got this restaurant that I love going to. It's Hare Krishna food. Now I never would have gone there 4 years ago, but I go in there and the people are lovely, the food's awesome, it's a good buzz. But there's one guy in there, and he's a lovely guy, but he always, when I go there, would never heat the plate, give me a half-sized portion. It was never that much, and he would sort of treat me like I was invisible. And let's face it, if you're 60 or over, you basically become invisible to a lot of young people. So this guy's in there and he's talking to his mate and doesn't see me, so I just walked back out and I thought, fuck it. He's just ignored me. I thought, stop it for a minute, Clay. Stop being a wanker. What are you doing? Have this dialogue with myself, talking to myself. You know, what are you doing? What are you being so negative about? This is completely... Why are you reacting? This is not you. You know better. You've evolved. I went in the toilets, slapped some cold water on my face. I turned my hat around the other way because I had a peak hat, make myself look 10 years younger. And I thought, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to sit down and he's going to give me the biggest meal I've ever had, not a half-size piss-ass version, and he's going to heat the plate and we're going to get on really good. I'm going to change all this. So I go back in there again. He's talking to this other tall dude, this bendy sort of hippie guy, and they were smiling. And again, I'm invisible, he doesn't see me. I'm waiting to be served, nothing's happened. So I go and help myself to the water because it's free. And I just do some deep breathing and go, positive vibes. You're a healthy, fit unit, Clay. And this guy's going to get so much love from you in a minute. You're going to get the biggest meal. And eventually his mate goes off and they finish their conversation. And I'd been standing there for probably 2 minutes, just waiting. And he comes up to me like I'm sort of a house figure. Yep. And I went to him, bro! Put my hand up like this. And he was like, yeah, bro. And he grabbed my hand and shook it. And I said, good to see you again, man. Oh, I'm so stoked you're on today. He goes, yeah, cheers. And I said, yeah. I said, I love coming in here. And he goes, really? I said, oh, when you're working, I do. He goes, yeah. I said, you know me. I said, oh, hold on. You probably don't because you serve hundreds of people, but of course I only see you. So I remember you, but you probably don't remember me. He goes, yeah, I don't. I said, well, understand. You've got a lot of people to serve. I said, I love coming here because you always give me the best helping on a hot plate. And he goes, yeah. So I said, just the usual, just regular. He goes, what was the regular again? So I told him what it was. Just don't put any dressing on the salad. And if it's no trouble, as always, can you please heat the plate? You've never heated the plate. And I sat down and there were 2 people that had just got their meal. They'd been obviously a while. And next minute my meal rocks up beside them and it's frigging massive. It's like piled up over the side. It's got just everything and sort of hot plate. And I went, brother, thank you so much, man. You're so reliable. Now, yes, there's a little bit of manipulation going on there because I wasn't being completely honest, but I changed my whole mindset. Out of there, John. I changed my whole mindset and made myself so positive to see him that he couldn't help but just, you know, be hospitable and serve me the best amount of food and with the most positive energy. When I went out, he put his fist up like that and fisted me. See you later, bro. Well, I went in there yesterday again. He was on again. And you know what? My plate was overflowing again. But not only was it that, all the staff was smiling when I came in and looking at me and him interacting, because they remembered our last interaction was so positive. Now, there's a case where you can take something that's shit in your life and you can make it something good. One of my biggest patrons on Patreon is a woman. I'm going to say her name because it's a story that's open. Grace is her name, and Grace is in the UK, and she, 8 years ago, she watched one of my pig hunting. She used to like following me. She watched one of my pig hunting videos, and it's where the dogs caught a titty sow down the gully. I gave it the knife. It had babies inside it. That's just collateral damage. It happens. Everything in nature's either pregnant, giving birth, or has babies. That's just the way it is. So you have that from time to time. And I said, oh, it's a good pig. She's in good condition. I'll take her for... And this woman wrote back to me and she said all these horrible things. And at the end of it, she said, I hope you get cancer and die. Well, lo and behold, a year later, guess what? I'm in hospital and I've got cancer and I've had an operation that's gone terribly wrong because I've got an infection and I've got a hematoma that's bleeding. I've got 1.5 litres of blood in my guts that's bleeding out. My hemoglobin went down from 160 to 64. You've got to transfuse anything below 80. And my platelets were low and I had infection, intense pain, and I was lying there with the intravenous antibiotics going to me, and I thought about Grace, and I picked up my phone, as you can, hospital, and I went to Gmail, and I wrote her this letter. I said, Grace, it's Clay here. I got her email address through the comments because she was on Google, so you can just go to that there. And I said, Clay here, your wish came true. I'm in hospital, I've got cancer, and I'm very sick. My body weight's gone from 80 kilogram down to 56. I'm in a wheelchair, and a lot of things I might not be able to do, I won't be able to do again, and I possibly won't see this through because I've got sepsis going through my system. And septicemia is one of the most common causes of people dying. So silence, nothing came back to me, nothing at all, nothing. I didn't hear from her for a long time, and I slowly got more well. And when I got more well, I made a video which is not on public, but I do share it to people that are end stage disease. And I made this video while I was in a wheelchair, and I got another email from her, and all it just said was karma. And I noticed in her email that her avatar was a little fluffy dog. And I wrote back to her, I said, well, if you believe in karma, then I guess it's not a good future for you either then. And she just wrote back question mark, question mark, question mark. So I wrote back to her, I said, a little fluffy dog, I presume you're feeding it meat. And that meat is animal, so it has to be killed by somebody, and you're not doing it, so someone else is doing your dirty work. So you're actually worse than me, because you also are involved in the killing of animals. Yet you actually pay someone else to do it. She wrote back to me and said, yes, but I buy my meat from the supermarket. So I found out a little bit more about Grace going through her Facebook page, and I took a wild guess at the food that she fed her dogs. There was no pictures of it, but I took a sort of wild guess, and as it turned out I got it right. And I found out the pet food company, and I did a deep dive into the pet food company. You've got to remember I'm in hospital right now. Actually, by now I'm convalescing at the Wakefield Homestead. And I showed the photos of the horses, where they euthanized, them hanging up. God, that looks horrific. And I didn't hear back from her. I got nothing. Anyway, a year later, when I was getting back on life together, I survived, and by then I was doing 1 meal a day. I was in a ketovore diet, mostly meat. One meal, only one eating every 23 hours, because I was supposed to have radiation, but I decided I would take matters into my own hands and induce a state of autophagy, which I'm lucky it worked. It may have backfired, just lucky it did. You know, I'm not saying that was why I survived, but the cancer had started to go outside the prostate, so I'd stopped that process, and now I was doing this 1 meal a day. So I get this letter from Grace. Dearest Clay, not dear Clay, dearest Clay, over the last year I have reflected deeply upon our conversations. I feel embarrassed at myself for my short-sightedness, and I have watched all your videos many times, and whilst I do not condone hunting pigs with dogs and knife like you do, I've learnt a lot about the biodiversity of animals in New Zealand. I've learnt on the uphill now, so, and we're in zone 4. Technically I shouldn't be able to talk. I have
35 minutes, 43 seconds, 14,170.
Right, watch this, give me a bit of information, sorry about that. She said, I feel I owe you a deep apology, and I'm also going to become your patron. And she started putting £5 in my bank account every month as a patron. Patrons can choose whatever they want to pay. Some give me the amount of coffee. Some people out there give me, there's one guy in Auckland that gives me 50 American dollars every month, because he's a businessman and I've helped him with his diet and his changing his life. Anybody who I've helped with their health, generally, unless they're cheap bastards, they generally end up giving me something to show thank you, gratitude. I've got a lot of free patrons too, and that's fine. No, there's no pressure, but people do what they feel they want to do, and that's the way it rolls. So this is now 7 years ago. Now Grace today is one of my most loyal patrons. She never comments in the section, but she writes to me. She's still got a fluffy little dog. She still feeds it pet food, and her whole mindset has changed. She's done research, and she's a city girl that's grown up in the city. The whole thing about the story that I wanted to share with you guys is that sometimes learning to respond rather than react can turn our enemies into our closest, most loyal supporters. So give that some thought next time someone's horrible to you. Just stop. Shit, I'm hot. Just stop and think, how is this person's life, and how can I see it from a different angle other than my own anger, like I was when I went into the restaurant and the guy didn't serve me to begin with. I was reacting, and I still have to pull myself up because I'm imperfect. But I want to do the last case hard, so I'm not going to be able to talk. I'll leave you with that. Go steady, brothers and occasional sister. As always, these are only my views, and they're not necessarily correct, only what I've found on my journey. Keep fighting the good battle. If you're going through hell, keep going and carry water, which I should be doing because I'm dehydrated, I think. Right, we're going to put the hammer down. Go steady. I'll see you in the next one. Clay, signing out. Come on. Woo! Feels good. Come on. Come on, Poe. Come on, Poe. Where's Poe? Come on. Come on, Poe. Whew. I love it. Good dogs. Oh, there's the buzz coming in now. Come on, Poe. The dogs will get dragged off. They won't keep up. Woohoo! See you later.